tell you what, if you're paying to come to our games, you are getting your money's worth. You know, I mean, there's no question about that. And probably more exciting for the fans than it is the coaching staffs. But, you know, I just, you know, if you would have told me before the game that Sam and Trayvon and Marquez were going to go 1 for 21 and we would win, I would have told you that's almost, you know, statistically and mathematically impossible. And I think what it does is it speaks to the fact that we got complete contribution, you know, from other guys, you know, including, you know, huge play from Alon, you know, in his biggest minutes opportunity of the year. But those guys also did winning things, right? I mean, Sam still grabs 10 rebounds. Quez has 5 rebounds. I think Sam had 3 steals and 4 assists. You know, Chris, you know, finishes both opportunities he gets around the basket and makes 2 huge plays defensively late, the block shot and then also stopping their full court pass, which made that last play much more difficult for them. And so, you know, it's a positive that we can win a game like that against a team that plays so hard. I have so much respect for AEW and his staff and his kids and how they play. They play so hard. They're committed to their style, and they're very good at it. They make it difficult for you to do what you want to do. And so it's a 40-minute war that way. And for us not to be our best, you know, offensively. And there was, again, stretches where I thought we were really good. I thought we were super aggressive and playing with a lot of confidence and flow early. Not so much into the first half, into the second half, and then at the end I thought we got more aggressive again. And so a lot of it, quite honestly, is just, I think, confidence for these guys. We have all the confidence in the world in them, all right? We've got to develop it in them while the game's going on, maybe not going their way all the time. But, you know, big game by X as well, making a lot of plays, handling that pressure. I mean, to play, I don't know how many minutes he played, 28 minutes, you know, 4 assists, 4 turnovers. Even would like to have a few less turnovers, but I probably left him in too long when he had those 2 back-to-back and he was tired. But, you know, again, total team win, and in a lot of ways, though it wasn't pretty, a great win for us.
Coach, it seemed like they especially early, they went out, they were playing really hard-nosed defense and trapping at various places all over the court. So how was that a unique challenge maybe that you see this year?
Yeah, you know, one of the challenges we've had making progress offensively, that's a great question, is that every team we've played has been completely different. So, you know, we never really get in a rhythm in terms of trying to develop, you know, how we want to play and certain reads offensively and that kind of thing. And again, I thought early on we you know, obviously prepared for their pressure. They're really good at it. But I thought early on we handled it really well, and we were aggressive and making the right reads and stepping into shots with confidence. And then, you know, for whatever reason, just started playing with a little less confidence and aggressiveness against it. But, I mean, that's what they do, and they're good at it.
Talk about the 4 3-pointers. So, I mean, it seemed like when they were the Sam or anybody driving, were there, caught it, shot. How much is that a trick what you guys have done in practice? And big shots and big moments.
Yeah, that's like a everyday thing in practice, working on feeling opposites, being there when somebody drives, spacing, working on that every day. So it's really just coming in and doing what I'm supposed to do.
You just talk about how it is fatigue introduced it. Well, I guess be smart attacking the basket. I mean, obviously, the guys calling it, you know, when they're risk block. But how much do things get created when, whether it's yourself or Sam or anybody attacking the basket?
Yeah, just like Alon said, we focus that. We work on that in practice, looking opposite, you know. Especially we focus on defense, and that carries over to our offense, and we get in the flow. So, yeah.
And Alon, just touching on your big night tonight, obviously huge, 12 points, 4 of 6 from behind the arc. Kind of take us through your evening, and then just a second part to that. Just kind of what did it feel like out there? Your first real extended run, and to have such a big part in a big victory like this.
Yeah, it was like I put in the work like after practice and stuff like that. So me being in the game, I got my opportunity and I did what I was supposed to do. It being my first time, I was definitely like tired, like super tired, but you know, fighting through fatigue like Coach tells us to in practice carries over in the game.
And Coach, how about the freshman's big night tonight? How would you put that into words?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the one thing about Alon, and he's shown this from day one, is, you know, Alon's not scared now. He's a confident player. He's a competitor, competes every single day, regardless of what it is. Brings great energy. You know, at a time where he wasn't playing at all, and we thought he might even redshirt. You know, he's at a high level every day in practice. And we just kind of felt like with how things were going, maybe bring us a little bit more athleticism and aggressiveness. And so let's throw him in there first tonight off the bench and kind of see how he does. And he, responded really well. But I'm not surprised that he did that, though, because he does that every day for us. It's one of the things that, we really value in him, is that he's a confident player that brings a great level of toughness and competitiveness every day.
And Chris, bounce it over to you. Another big day on the glass, but really it was those ending plays there, like Coach talked about. Just seconds left. NKU kind of thought they had a chance. You made sure they didn't have a chance. Just kind of take us through that play. What did you see? And then, what was it like putting that shot as far back as you did?
Well, the last play, it was kind of a risky play because I had number 24 one of their best shooters, so I was just reading it. And I think number 50, he didn't see me coming, so I just went in. I could have grabbed it, but I don't know why I should have grabbed it. But I just blocked it, and then, we turned it over. And then they ended up missing a shot and foul.
And then take it over to Xavier, another big game here. You've been on the podium the last few times after some big ones. Just kind of take us through tonight. 19 points. You were a big part of that 20-4 run there in the first half to really get back into the game and kind of take control of things. Just take us through your evening.
Yeah, just credit to my teammates. They were finding me when I was on the opposite side of the wing. And, that's just, putting in the work even before practice, after practice, and that carries over.
Coach, he used 69 points off turnovers, 69 points off second chances. If that gets cleaned up, how much is this guy limit for the Norse?
Yeah, I mean, the two things that, we talked about from day one are rebounding and turnovers. The turnovers, because of how they play, you're going to have a few, and maybe a few more against them. But, the rebounds tonight, I thought it was less lack of physicality as it has been some games for us, and more of that we just didn't grab the ball a lot of times from the perimeter. But, again, we challenged our guys at halftime, especially our guards, because if we're going to be a good a rebounding team, our guards are going to have to rebound the ball. And, Sam McQuez got in there and had 15 between them. So I don't think it was 20 overall when you add up everybody. That's, just what we would consider a perimeter player only. So, it's going to be a constant thing for us, and we've got to get better at it.
Coach, number 10, it seems like Northern Kentucky would hit a big shot. He'd come back right down and hit a big shot. But I think toward the end, you guys started doubling and getting the ball out of his hands. How was that leading the win?
Yeah, good player, and really good player. And they were isolating him at the elbow, and sometimes freshmen don't follow the scouting report and let him drive to his strong hand. All right, but that only happened once, and then we wanted to definitely run at him, not an all-out double, but just not let him be comfortable where he could drive the ball one-on-one. And, I thought our guys did a great job out of their timeout. They tried to ISO him on the side of the floor, and we ran at him, and he wasn't able to score because he was really hurting us. He had some really tough shots. And, and all our kids did. We let him dribble into a few threes too easy on the perimeter, but Blanton was making some tough shots. He's a good player.
One more for you as I struggle through that sentence. Has it kind of hit you yet, a night like this? I mean, obviously you're playing, you're locked in, but when does it kind of hit you? When you're heading back to your dorm or something? Like, hey, I had a pretty dang good night out there.
I couldn't tell you really. I mean, probably like coming up to practice, I'll probably be on like the other side. Like usually I'm going against the first team, so I'll probably be with the first team, but I'm still going to compete regardless.
I think my man up front has a question.
You mentioned earlier this year that IMAX football was sort of like a work in progress in terms of situational basketball. How have you been impressed by his development so far?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, and it's what you want to see, especially from a young big, is that he's giving you more positives than negatives every time out, right? Finished really well around the basket tonight, ran the floor, had the transition dunk. Grabbed offensive rebounds, had the one turnover, but I think you're starting to see progress in him finishing and making more positive plays than negative, and so it's we think he's just going to keep getting better and better. All right. And great job by the crowd tonight to really helped us win the game. They were terrific. So thank you to everybody that came out and got into it. Appreciate it.